Hello, everybody, and this is the Stewart Buzz. There's a couple of things I just want to go over with you today. Things that have been annoying me for the last couple of days. I didn't really get a chance. By the way, it is February 13th, 2025, and it is Thursday. Beautiful Florida. It is 85 degrees. So, you guys up north, hey, tough. But anyway, I want to bring a couple things up that are really annoying me. So apparently, Elon Musk is going well above and beyond to try to save the country. Now, the dude does not need to work for the government, okay? I really don't even think it's a power thing. The dude has more money than like anybody. He's got over $400 billion. I don't think he needs to take a position where he is right now in order to get something done. But Doge is doing an amazing job. 75,000 people just took the deal that President Trump gave. 75,000 people get paid for 8 months with benefits and pay. You can bet those 75 people will probably sit on their ass for a good 5 months and then scramble to find a job after that. I also found out that the Taliban, thank you, people who want to kill us, you know those people, the Taliban who want to kill us, um, we decided to get them billions of dollars worth of condoms because that just seems like the right thing to do. Really? We're spending billions of dollars on condoms to the Taliban who want to cut our heads off. I don't think that's a good idea, guys. Whoever came up with that one, really. And we're also teaching children in other countries about trans. Now, I don't care if you're trans. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're straight. You guys all know that. We are very neutral here in Stewart, Florida. Maybe it's not neutral everywhere, but it is neutral here. But to give billions of dollars to the trans overseas and the training overseas and the condoning overseas to children, I really, something needs to change with that. Something also needs to change with the education. And I think they're working on that now. Because you know what? I know people that cannot even count change. They're right here. They're right here in America. If you give them a 10 and it costs $6.58, they don't know how to count back the rest of the change. Think about it. Um, we've we've dealt with that. And you know what? I don't believe it's the kids' fault. I believe it's the teachers. I believe it's the education system completely broken. Uh, I, I really got to tell you, I don't. The United States of America is wasteful. I mean, pretty much every American that I talk to agrees that it is wasteful. There's only that certain bit that's not going to agree that it's wasteful, and we know who they are. Okay, it's funny because down here in Florida, we have this RV that drives around, and it has Martin Luther King, it has JFK, it has the moonwalk, it has the guys raising the flag. It's a famous, iconic thing, and it also has President Trump when he was like before president, and he got shot in the ear, and the blood coming down. And he's fight, fight, fight. Right? He's got that on there. He's got a front eagle on there, which is now, by the way, according to Biden, he signed piece of paper saying it is now the country bird, the bald eagle, which it should be, by the way. Um, People are giving him hell every time he goes to try to park somewhere. You can't park in front of my store. And like all they see is President Trump. They do not see JFK, which, by the way, just came out yesterday that 14,000 pages just showed up. 14,000 pages were missing that just came into the hands of the government due to Trump releasing all the documents, 14,000 pages, which they have come to the conclusion, or pretty much close to the conclusion, that guess what? There was a second shooter. That's what I heard. Yep. This is all through research. And I must say, I would love to take credit for the research, but I am not taking the credit for the research. But I will say that this research was done by the government. I'm just going to move my chair over a little bit because I am old and feeble. Okay, that works better now. So we are saving right now with just a little bit that has been done so far. Now, mind you, when I go home at night, which is pretty sad, but when we go home, we can't wait to see what happened during the day and what changes were made. Um, the IRS may be on the brink of an audit. So the IRS is now going to be audited. Some of the IRS, a lot of the IRS, is going to go be shipped to the border to help them process people. Apparently, the IRS is allowed to carry guns. Why? Can't tell you that. Um, Not sure why an IRS agent would need to carry a gun, other than maybe to protect themselves because they tend to screw a lot of people. Um, so you got the IRS heading to the border. You got them investigating people left and right. And mind you, Musk said yesterday they can only fire 10,000 people at a time because they just don't have the manpower to fire anybody else because the paperwork is down in this like tunnel somewhere, like way below ground on a uh, in a like a shelter of almost like a bomb shelter of some sort, and it's all done by paperwork. Paperwork. They can't even freaking computerize it. I mean, this is what I don't even know what year we're in, 2025, and they can't even like use the proper way to put. I mean, all you have to do is freaking scan the document and put it into a computer, into a file, and you can just pull it up, by alphabetical order, and then look at the names if you wish. Even I can do that on here. Um, So there's so many things that are changing every single day, but they're fighting Musk, calling him a complete lunatic. Um, and seriously, I don't think that he's a lunatic. I think that he is hyper focused on stuff. Yeah, he may be hyper focused on stuff, but the stuff he's saying it makes sense. Um, like, why are we sending all this money overseas when we have a boatload? I mean, seriously, a boatload of homeless people here in the United States. One thing I heard this morning is they want to be able to have the undocumented people here in America to be able to have driver's license at the age of 16, whether they're citizens or not citizens. Now, if you have a driver's license, that means that you can also probably end up voting. There's no hiding the agenda of what they're trying to do. All right, and we're talking about a certain group of people. They're trying to put it across that, yeah, okay, we want the undocumented workers to be able to have driver's licenses. Now we're giving them hotels, we're giving them cell phones, we're giving them health care. Mind you, we have to pay health care. We have to try to, make ends meet. The retail business is down the tubes. Um, but everybody seems to think that, like, the economy is really great. Thank you, Biden. And that Trump inherited this great economy. Well, you know what? I don't see it. I don't see the economy. I know what I had 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I didn't have a problem here. It's so much different now than it was then. And it's not due to poor managing. It is every store that I talk to, every person that I talk to. I mean, they're just like, oh my God, it's awful. Is it a surprise to you that President Trump won the popular vote? Every swing state. I mean, he turned them all red. Is, is that not a message to you that something was wrong? And giving condoms to the Taliban, billions of dollars to people over here, billions of dollars to people over here. They're in countries that the people don't even like us, for God's sakes, and we got our homeless vets, needing help. So, when you start to criticize people like a patriotic guy wrapping his RV, his own RV, wrapping his RV, and both left and right wing people, the Martin Luther King, JFK, it's about the moonwalk, it's an historic event. Diversity. It is not just Trump. I was by that RV the other day, and one guy said, yeah, I'll see what it's like when you drive up here in 2 years from now. Why? What's 2 years from now? 2 years from now is when the economy is going to crash? I don't think so. I don't think so. But you know what? If it is, I'll shake your hand. I say, I get what you're saying. So honestly, I do not think that it is an RV that should be scrutinized, because the message what they're trying to put out is a positive message. Now, they're not handing flyers in unwanted places. Those things are a fallacy. That's not true. If somebody comes up to them and they ask them questions, they'll hand them something, but they don't just go around randomly just handing out flyers to people for no reason. They have better things to do than that, like drink alcohol. Oh, did I say that out loud? No, I didn't say that out loud. Okay, Blake. And well, those are my thoughts of the day. We'll go live a little bit later and we'll go more into it. Talk to you later. Hello, everybody. This is Chris, and welcome to the Stewart Buzz. I am going to turn one microphone on at a time because they can't seem to take directions. Well, see, like right now, both of them are off because Kaylee is just like one of those. Okay, so Kaylee, now you can talk.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, see. Yeah. Hi.
Hey.
Great. Young lady, why don't you do me a favor and just explain who you are?
I'm Kaylee's good friend, Angela. Angela Ascends on YouTube. I'm happy to be here today.
What the fuck? What the hell was that all about? What did that mean?
Yeah, that means that's her YouTube channel.
Oh. No, we don't pass her YouTube channel on.
Huh?
How many subscribers do you have?
Like 24. I just started it.
24.
Just started it like 2 weeks ago.
And how does people find you?
I post on TikTok. I post on Facebook and Instagram.
No, baby. What's the name of your, say your name of your YouTube site?
Angela Ascends. ASCENDS.
Okay, and that's what it says. That's how they can find you on
YouTube.
YouTube. Okay, great. So here we're about to talk about rubbing things. Apparently, this young lady thinks that.
Yes.
Apparently, they think rubbing things actually makes people relax.
That's crazy to say.
Right? I mean,
Well, you're rubbing the microphone, and then, what Kaylee does is she chews on the microphone. Show 'em.
I don't like it.
Do it. You did it before. Do it again.
Doesn't ASMR is about like sensory stimulation in order to calm people down?
Yeah, see?
You do a lot
She
of different
knows.
things, and so yeah, a lot of people probably wouldn't like that though.
Yeah. It's more so like very soothing sounds. So like,
Yeah, this is soothing.
well, if you have nails, like, you know what I mean? Like,
It sounds like a freaking heartbeat. I mean, like that means that would
Right.
like, okay. Oh my God, am I having a heart attack? Oh my God, like, you know,
Maybe you
like.
should talk to a doctor about that.
Well, I'm healthier than both of you, so please.
But you couldn't walk down the street
I
to get
could.
your gift card.
I have severe spinal stenosis.
he does.
I do. I am healthy as a horse.
Well, this is my second time meeting you. I'm sorry.
Healthy
that.
as a horse. I just have a difficult time walking sometimes, and today it just happens to be one of those.
I don't know about being healthier than us, though.
Oh no, I am. Did you see the way I eat? You see what the way I eat.
You see the way I eat.
I know. That's why I said I'm healthier than you. Yes, I scanned your food. Remember?
What does that mean?
I only eat the healthiest foods that you can possibly
He goes
have.
on that one app. What's it called?
Scanned?
So
No, what's it called? Show her, what app is it?
yucca.
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 I've never heard.
The
So
Yucca
anyway,
app, yeah.
I don't have regular pasta. I only eat chickpea pasta. I don't have regular bread. I eat Dave's bread. I eat only 95% fat-free chicken shop meat or whatever. I don't eat anything that's really unhealthy other than one time a week, and that's it.
That's impressive. How old were you when you started that?
A long time. I was 250 pounds.
Okay.
And then I was really in good shape. Then I really became a fat pig, and then I lost a lot of weight again.
Good for you.
And it's been off for 30 years. So, and then I became a personal trainer and a martial arts instructor and all that other stuff. So, forget about it. It's not about me. It is about you.
Oh, great.
So, I'm going to tell you how this all started. First of all, by the way, this is the continuation of a podcast that was earlier when I was talking about politics. But I can't talk about politics with these girls because they're not old enough to listen to politics. And I can guarantee you that probably neither one of them have a damn TV. Because
It's true.
oh, no, it is true.
I don't have cable.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have
Thank you.
cable either.
Thank
I don't
you
watch
very
the
much.
news.
Okay.
I have Netflix,
Propaganda.
Hulu, and
Okay, so it's this is the way it works. So this age group compared to my age group, well, we have cable. We didn't have cable growing up, but that wasn't because we were like them. It was because they didn't have cable when I was growing up. But now we have cable, so we watch cable, and
I definitely had cable growing up.
you did,
Yeah.
yeah, right. I did not.
Oh, but you have cable now,
Yes, we have real TV.
right?
How do you stand the commercials?
Some of them are quite informative. Like you can shit in a box in order to find out whether or not you have colon cancer or not. You can shit in a box, and they all have like big smiles on their face when they get the box, and they pick it
Since
up.
who?
Don't you? You don't see the commercial, but I'm telling you, they're fun. It's entertaining.
Do you know what he's talking about?
No, I don't have cable.
I'm.
I'm telling you, if you want to watch somebody shit in a box, you can actually watch the commercials. They're fun.
I think I'd watch that somewhere else if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Find that somewhere else.
Yeah, you probably could actually.
You could probably find on
I think it's
YouTube
banned in
somewhere.
Florida now, actually.
Somehow, I think it might be on her YouTube page.
Incorrect.
So if not, so what is your YouTube page about?
My YouTube page is about how I overcame addiction and how I've coped and healed from complex PTSD.
Complex. Is there a difference between PTSD and complex PTSD?
Yeah, so regular PTSD, it's not, it's kind of just a like continuation of it where PTSD is usually just one traumatic event that happens to you in your lifetime, whereas complex PTSD is categorized as multiple traumas happening over the course of a longer extended period of time.
Okay. Now, not doubting that you have PTSD, I'm assuming that you do because you said it. There's no reason to to say it, not have it. So I had a lot of trauma that happened to me as a child. And I look at it in a totally different way. And when I teach people law of attraction, here's the way I actually teach them, is that the trauma that happened to me back when I was a kid, I use them as lessons
Exactly.
as to, for me to pass that on to other people, to try to explain to them, hey, why, like I'm 62, why am I going to hold on to something that happened to me when I was 8? So I let it go. It was a lesson for me. And not only that, but it gives me great empathy to be able to say, hey, I know how you feel, and this is how you can overcome it. So the PTSD, I'm asking you because you suffered from it and you suffer from it,
I used to be diagnosed.
right? And the only way they can diagnose you with PTSD is through a series of questions. But do you feel once you have PTSD, you will always have PTSD?
No, I do not think that's the case because, as I've said, I healed from it through in-depth trauma therapy with EMDR, somatic experiencing, and getting sober and multiple things, reframing my subconscious mind, basically just putting in a year's worth of work to heal from those traumas that happened to me as a child and as an adult.
Amen. Good answer. I
Thank
thought
you.
that was awesome. So what happened to me is I was sexually abused when I was 8 years old, and PTSD what didn't exist when I was a kid.
Right, exactly.
It didn't. So I think the word fucked up did. But I really didn't hold on to it all that time.
Knowingly, consciously.
Well, I'm 62, so I would consciously, doing what I do, know if I held on to it or if I let it go. When I was a kid, maybe consciously, I didn't know either or. But now I know for sure that it was a lesson for me to learn to be able to help other people heal. That's the
Exactly.
way it is. And so kudos to you for going above and beyond. And actually, wow, was that you? Mine went off at the same exact time.
Yeah,
That's weird.
literally.
So I was like, mine's usually on vibrate. But anyway, so what I'm saying is kudos to you for actually saying, okay, I have an issue. I need to take care of the issue. And you took care of the issue. And look at you now. You look amazing.
Thank you. I do appreciate
So,
that. My trauma
second
also
that.
surrounded around childhood sexual abuse for many years. It was parental sexual abuse, and it took a long time. I dissociated that away for a long time, and I wasn't consciously aware of it. But I had all this anxiety, and I had panic attacks, and I was self-medicating with substances and alcohol. And it wasn't until my brain, that's why I said unconsciously, you might know that you're carrying it. A lot of people do tend to dissociate whenever they experience something like that at an early age. And there's this book called The Body Keeps Score. I can't remember who the author is, but I read it and it kind of helped me figure out exactly how to learn from these emotional responses that I was getting and emotional reactions and be able to accept it as my truth when I was denying it for so long.
she's quite intelligent.
Absolutely.
Some of that
That's
stuff
my
should
friend.
rub off on you. I don't understand. But so at what point?
He always does that.
What I do?
I said you're mean to her.
I'm not mean to her. I love her like my kid. I'm mean to my regular kids. I love her. She knows that.
It's me.
Good.
I'm just telling you. I mean, seriously. Seriously, we always go with Kaylee. That I just like, make sure that she's okay all the time. So mind you, everybody has their highs and lows. Lots of people, or I won't sound like a New Yorker, a lot of people compartmentalize things. They put things into the back of their mind and then trigger words and trigger things happen to where it comes to the front of their mind. When you're good to not compartmentalize and keep it in the front and to realize, okay, this is what happened to me. This is how I'm going to overcome it. And that's what you did, is far beyond what most people can probably do. And to me, there's really, I'm getting goosebumps from that.
I just got them
There's
too.
really nothing better than to now be able to live your dream
Absolutely.
and not being a slave to your thoughts and not being a slave to a bottle or not being a slave to this or not being a slave to that. Now you're just love and light, and that's what it's about. And I won't bring anybody else up, but there's other people that I know that have crossed that boundary, and I got to tell you, I those people that I do know that did that, I don't think I can be any more proud of. Like seriously, when you see somebody all the way on the low, and then you watch them pick themselves up, it's just like, could I have done that? I don't know. I'm assuming I could have, but I really don't know because that's a really, really well. I clearly did not want to bring up any names.
Oh.
And I wasn't going to bring up any names until you did. So there was a time that I knew a girl. She was tall and had long blonde hair. And there's
The
somebody,
most beautiful girl in the world.
Oh, guys.
other than the girl that I live with.
Oh.
So
Do you want me to
I can
go
tell.
over there?
Yeah, I can tell her the story. So what happened was, so she was going towards the rock bottom part of things, and I seen her go, and I sat in the chair and I said, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah, she told me about the story actually.
And she, clearly lied, like all people with issues like that would lie, and I didn't believe her, and she sort of disappeared to the point where my significant other went to her house and banged on her door and like all this stuff. I'm like, I mean, I love her like my kid. I mean, that's my kid. And I had no control. And you know very well, your parents, well, we won't bring that up. Anybody that loved you
My
could
mother.
not could not heal you. Only you can heal you. But you had to be ready.
Absolutely. That is so. I work in addiction treatment now. That is 100% the case. You have to be understanding of the fact that if you do not change, you will die.
Right.
And that's ultimately what it comes down
And
to.
only when you're ready to accept that
Yeah.
is when you can heal yourself. Now, my mother used to tell my sister, hey, you need to lose weight. Hey, you need to lose weight all the time. All the time. And my sister would get heavier and heavier. And only when my mother stopped saying you need to lose weight is when my sister lost weight. So, not blaming my mom. She didn't know any different. She was just trying to protect her kid. And I got to tell you, it's people do not real. I am going to just go on the record stating that PTSD is overdiagnosed. You don't have to agree with that, but there's lots of people that get diagnosed with ADHD, with PTSD, when they're hyperactive. And I had this conversation with a doctor on the podcast. Not everybody that's hyperactive has PTSD, or not everybody that's hyperactive has ADHD. But clearly you had PTSD and trauma, but I gotta say, there you go. So I gotta say that for you to overcome that, how long did it take you to overcome that? And I'm gonna add one more thing. In my opinion, the way I see it, you never stop overcoming it. Like it's an everyday process. It's sometimes it becomes subconscious because you don't think about it anymore. But in a way, it's always a part of you, whether it's a healing part of you or it's a part of you that's going to help somebody else. Whatever it was, it crossed your path for a reason, right? I mean, that's what I would think.
Absolutely.
Now, you clearly did amazing.
I like to say my soul is stubborn, and I chose some very difficult lessons to learn while I was here on this earth.
Well,
I agree.
Yeah.
you look like $1 million. I mean, you have a great attitude.
Thank you.
You're beautiful. Now let's talk to the ugly duckling that's sitting next to you.
Relax.
So I have seen you. I was telling her that that I really love you like my kid, and that we banged on your door and stuff like that, and just want to make sure you're okay. And the thing is that some other person that may not understand all of this, because my dad drank a lot and stuff like that. Before he went to work, he had anisette in his coffee, But if you don't understand it, a lot of people will not accept you back into their
Right.
lives. But when she was ready to come back into our lives, we were like, oh my God, we were waiting for this day to happen. And since the day happened, when she's not here, we miss her. We do. I'd rather her be here all the time. So I'm hoping that everybody thinks that way about you. Now, you make a difference in other people's
I
lives.
do.
Thank you, love. I love you.
I love you. I
Oh,
love you all.
jeez. Oh, my God.
So much love right now. This is this is the kind of
Valentine's
podcast
Day.
I'm talking about.
I-
Hey, she brought me the most beautiful little chai and
a what? A what?
A chai latte.
a chai latte and a balloon for Valentine's Day. Like the sweetest.
What's Jordan getting you?
That's a good question.
Jordan?
No, I think we might go to the fair actually.
What fair?
The Martin County Fair is on Friday.
Like with the Ferris wheel and all that other
Yeah.
stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Martin County Fair is on when?
It starts on Friday. Tomorrow.
Is the first day free?
Is it?
I have no idea.
I have no idea
I
either.
thought it used to be that way.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I highly doubt it.
I mean, I don't know how I feel about being around like so many people, but like it's
Why?
fun.
Why? Why?
Well, usually the first day it's pretty packed. So like there's always a lot of people.
You would think they would go at the last day when it's not packed. That's
Right,
what I
but
would do.
tomorrow's Valentine's Day.
Jordan,
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
happy Valentine's Day. We did find out because we did a podcast on Valentine's Day, which got a lot of hits, by the way. It's almost 500, or I think 600 views on that one thing. And St. Valentine's Day, according to, what's her name, Virginia?
Yeah, you always say Veronica.
That's her new name. Okay. Now Virginia is someone who has PTSD, who has not been over it yet. So we love her. She's a good person when she's sleeping, and honestly, she told us that Saint Valentine was killed because he was marrying people. Did you know that?
No.
You dumbass! You were with me on the thing when she said it.
I wasn't paying attention.
Okay. Now I know the podcast. She's just like,
I told you. I must have said like 5 times in that podcast that I am lost. I did.
You did. I'll have to go back on that one.
I did. I
So,
promise you.
so I'm going to ask you this question. On your YouTube, do you cover this?
I haven't yet, no. I haven't gone into specific detail about my traumas, but only necessarily how I've healed from them.
So what is your content?
Really just kind of like post-traumatic growth, like healing from PTSD, what I do on a day-to-day basis, and things that have helped me to heal.
So for anybody out there that is suffering from what you suffer, what do you do on a daily basis to ground yourself?
I do a lot of yoga and meditation. I don't really know what you'd call it, but just kind of movement of my body. I turn on a song and do some like somatic dancing and just move the energy through my body. And then I've really learned how to reprogram, like I said earlier, my subconscious mind, in which I used to have when I was struggling with the PTSD. I would have a lot of negative, kind of unconscious thoughts, like there was something wrong with me, or I would always
Low self-esteem. Low
low
self-esteem.
self-esteem, like lack of identity. I would always kind of pick apart social interactions that I had with other people and judge myself negatively. And so I've basically just learned how to not do that, for one, but also love my inner child and give her validation so that my adult self feels capable to basically handle anything. And I really have found this sort of self-love that I've never experienced before.
Do you think you're beautiful?
Of course I do. Yeah.
Okay, good. That's the question I needed to know. Do you think you're beautiful?
Yes.
Well, I think you're both beautiful, to be honest with you.
I think you're beautiful
And it
too.
has nothing to do with like me being a 62-year-old dirty old man, because I'm not. I'm just saying that I think what you accomplished. I have done readings for a very long time, and I know people with addiction, and I know people that did not survive addiction. I'm sure as well as you do, and as well as you did. And they were my clients. Worst thing is that their spouse or their friends would call me up and tell me that they didn't make it. This was back on the island, though, not in Florida. And it bothered me that I wasn't able to help them until I came to the thought they were not able to help them. So they were not
Right.
ready
Right.
to help them.
And I feel like addiction and it's also a disease. It tells you that you don't have one, right? So I know for me and my own experience, and I'm just speaking for myself, is when I was in it, it told me that nothing was wrong with me. You know what I mean?
I
Like
sat on the chair next to you and saying, "What's wrong with you?" And you kept on saying nothing.
exactly. So it's a disease that told me that I didn't have one.
And
And
mind you,
it's
I don't know if you remember this, but you were like breaking out, and
oh yeah, everywhere.
oh, I don't know, I have some sort of skin thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh? Right?
Yeah, I
Really?
was in denial. I was lying. It made me manipulate all that kind of stuff, and I feel like I'm like a whole 180 of that without it. It's something that I've experienced my whole life, is addiction and alcoholism. And I think this past like go around it really helped me to understand that I really am powerless over it. So what makes me an addict is like when I put any sort of substance. So I'm free from like alcohol, weed, all of that, and tobacco. And I think when I put anything in my body, like I can't stop. Whether I like it or not, I can't stop. And I know that that's what makes me, it's always wanting more.
I don't know if you
It's
know,
really
but
interesting.
I also had an addiction.
Yeah.
Do you know what it was?
Yes.
Tell me.
You had a cocaine addiction, didn't you?
No, I did not.
I could see it.
I had a food addiction.
But you.
I still have a food addiction. You still have an addiction. You still have an addiction.
Right.
It's inside you. It's who you are.
Right.
It's how you deal with it.
Right.
So I was also bulimic because of my food addiction.
Right.
Now, I couldn't stop eating. I don't get full. To this day, I don't get full.
Right.
I can eat and eat and eat. And honestly, I have to say, okay, I got to stop eating. That's why I eat the way I eat right now, because I eat things that are healthy for me so I can have a little bit more of it. but I also eat like bowls and bowls of fiber, you
Yeah.
know? And so I had that for a long time because I was doing bodybuilding when I was 17, 18, 19. And in order to compete, I needed to kind of be ripped and stuff like that. So, but I also had um, a girlfriend at that point where I would eat over their mother's house and they would like to feed you food and food and food. So on the way home on the Long Island Expressway, if anybody knows anything about Long Island, I would get rid of that food.
I think that's really powerful for you, especially as a man and not older, but older than us, older man at that, who grew up in the generation that you did, to be able to talk about the things that you went through as a child, and the eating disorder that you went through. Because men, especially, I feel like men's mental health is overlooked a lot, and that's not necessarily anyone's fault, but I feel like it's definitely something that can be talked about
Well,
more.
the deal is, I'm not a man really. I'm actually the woman in my relationship. Jeannie is the man in the relationship. But yeah, I had this addiction, and I still do. I also um, had obsessive compulsive disorder, very bad obsessive compulsive disorder, where I couldn't leave my house without turning off the light switch and listening to this little tiny noise that had to be made. If it wasn't made, then I couldn't leave the house. Sometimes it would take me 2 hours. Then I came up with a solution called the 10-second rule. I would shut off the light switch. I would go outside for 10 seconds, come back in and see if there's no repercussions of me shutting off a light switch, whether it made a noise or didn't make a noise. It didn't matter to me. And then I always extended the time frame until I can drive around the block or I can go a mile away and I can come back and there's no repercussions. So it took me a long time to get rid of my obsessive compulsive disorder, but I no longer suffer from obsessive compulsive
That's
disorder.
extremely impressive.
I teach people that now.
Yeah, that's amazing. There's the substance abuse facility, and then there's an eating disorder facility. And a lot of the people, the women that we treat there, it's a women's only facility, but they also struggle with OCD. And we do a lot of in-depth therapy, but that's really interesting to hear that you were able to.
And I help people across from me. But so the obsessive compulsive never goes away. But you can trick your brain to obsess over something else. So I ended up obsessing over
I
health.
understand that.
I get that. Yeah.
I get that.
I obsessed over lifting weights. I obsessed over being successful in the sense of happiness, love, light. I obsessed over many things in a positive light
Obsessed
to
over
get
personal development.
right.
Right.
I obsessed over that. So I can just change my mindset.
Right.
Say, okay, I'm not obsessing over the negative part. I'm going to obsess over the positive part. And I did it, and it actually worked. So I then passed that along to the people that are in front of me when I do my readings or the law of attraction that I teach, things like that. So when you teach people, you can't teach people not to be an addict. You can only support people not to be an addict. That's really, I mean, they have to teach themselves how to not be an addict,
Right.
but you can give little shortcuts and little,
Like your experience through
right,
it.
and,
Yeah.
and little hints of how you got through something, which maybe
Right.
they can use those hints in order for them to get through something. So I think the experiences there are amazing, and both of you to me are amazing. And you still talk in front of a group of people still, or have you given that up?
No, I do. I actually have to do that tomorrow.
Really? Where?
Well, I'm not speaking tomorrow, but I do get up and I'm chairing
Oh,
tomorrow.
okay, gotcha.
But yeah, no, I still do that. And I think that it's important. I think it's important for people who struggle to hear your story. People who have experience, who have gotten through it. I really believe our purpose doesn't come from, I mean, it can turn into a job, right? So, like we do, right? Where it's like, and, you as well, where it can turn into a job, but I think our real purpose comes from when we hit our face on the ground and we could come up out of it and help other people. Um, that's our purpose. Like, that's what we're here for. That's what fulfills me, at least, is like helping other people, seeing them grow, seeing the light in their eyes, like, that that really fulfills my soul, I think, the most.
How many chances were you going to give yourself
Oh.
until you were done?
Honestly, I think it was a God intervention at some point, you know? I think that I really had to pray, you know? Like, for me, it was like I had to get on my hands and knees and pray without even realizing it, to realize, like, I needed help. And part of me, the stubborn part of me, really just did not want to believe it, you know? I wanted to be independent. I could do this on my own, you know, all that kind of stuff. When really, like, I needed help. Like, I couldn't do it on my own. For the longest time, I thought I could. And prayer was the only thing that really got me out of that situation. No matter who loved me, around me, wanted me to change, nobody could have saved me.
No, I mean, and I can attest to that because no matter what I did,
Yeah, no matter what anybody
it was
did.
useless.
Yeah, no matter what anybody did, nobody could save me. You know, honestly, except for God. Like when I prayed to God, like something happened. There was an intervention that happened, and you know, did you know that like when I went to treatment, I had an $8,000 deductible in order to get into treatment, meaning like I had to pay $8,000 in order to get myself into treatment. And I called my mom and I was like, "Mom, I don't know. I don't know. Look at this train.
I know it's a loud train.
It is a loud train. But I told my mom, like, Mom, I don't know what to do, you know? And when I prayed about it, I just got this thought in my head. It was like, take out a loan. I was like, well, I don't know how I'm going to take out a loan. I don't have the credit to take out a loan. And so I called my mom and I was like, Mom, why don't we take out a loan? She said, Kaylee, that's so crazy because I'm on my way to the bank right now to take out a loan.
Yeah, that makes me cry. I met your mom.
Huh?
I met your mom.
Yeah. And
And,
so that was actually, and ended up going that night. And
can I just say something?
yeah.
I think it's so wrong that the wealthiest country, the most powerful country in the world, we have to take out a loan to heal our kids and to like help them when we're giving we're giving condoms to the Taliban
Oh, okay. No, there we go.
who
Lost me
don't
there.
Yeah.
who don't even
I have
like
to go on a
us,
reading in 2
that want to
minutes.
murder us. No, but I just want to say that the government should take over this, take care of you, and and you should be given that money. It should be a free service to help you heal instead of giving money, billions upon billions of dollars to other countries to heal while you're suffering and you have to take out a loan, which is so wrong. I believe that the United States of America, the most richest country, can't take care of you guys.
But also, you were talking about like how not a lot of people understand it, and I think it comes from that point of view. Is like, you know, I think that it comes from like not people understanding it really. You know, like there's a whole medical side to it, and all that kind of stuff. So
There is a medical side to it, but more of a reason for the United States of
yeah,
America to step in and say, let's take care of our youth, let's take care of our people, let's take care of the people with addictions, let's take care of our vets, let's take care of the people with PTSD, trauma, all those things, instead of like, giving our money to useless causes sometimes that are overseas when we got two beautiful souls here that had to do it all on their own. Um, and to me, I think that the money should be allocated towards you guys more so than somebody who wants us dead, like the Taliban and people from overseas. Most people in overseas don't like Americans, just so you know. Um, it's true. Did you know that? Oh, that's right. You don't have TV. Um, he does have cable. Did you know that?
Most people don't like Americans.
Right.
Yeah, I do, and I think I know why too.
Well,
I have to
number
go on a
one,
reading in a minute though.
we're wasteful.
And there's somebody in the store.
You have a reading?
Now, Okay, we're going to close when you're gone, okay? All right, so my last words, and then I'll let you close. Unless you want to do your last words, and then I will close.
What does that mean exactly? And
Oh.
just finish up. Anything I want to say?
Don't you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, not a podcast. It's a vlog.
Oh, is it? So you don't have any of this stuff? You should get it. It's fun.
Yeah, it does look kind of fun, actually.
It is
It has
fun.
been fun, yeah.
And it's informative. So people can watch this. Now, I'm talking like lots of people are going to watch this. And lots of people that may have been in your shoes at one point. We're going to be closing up, but there's a lot of people that had to deal with your battle. But if they heard your story, it may give them hope because you overcame something that some people just couldn't do.
I almost committed suicide over it, so it wasn't an easy thing
Right.
to do.
Oh,
But it was 100% worth it. And from this side now, I can openly say that it's one of my favorite quotes. The wound is where the light enters you. Basically saying that, on the spectrum of how dark things can get for you, on the opposite end of the spectrum, things can be equally as light.
correct. I agree. With that, I don't think I can beat that quote. And I don't think I can beat the enthusiasm that you have and the drive that you have to help others and to help yourself, along with Kaylee. So I'm proud of both of you. I met you today, I believe. I don't think I met you before this.
In passing times when I've been here to see her, yeah, a couple
Um,
times.
I don't remember anything, but I am going to say that your story today, I think, was amazing. And I can't tell people how difficult it is to admit to yourself that you have a problem. When I openly admit to myself that I have obsessive compulsive disorder, my obsessive compulsive disorder is still there. I just play a game with my head. I change my obsessive compulsive to be obsessive compulsive about positive things. So you can change an addiction to be addicted to running. You can change your addiction to be addicted to working out. It's the same sort of thing. Or you could be addicted to helping people not be addicted. With that, we're going to close. And any last words?
No, I think that previous quote that I said was a pretty good last word.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I agree. All right, everybody, you have a blessed day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye. somebody comes up to them and they ask them questions, they'll hand them something, but they don't just go around randomly just handing out flyers to people for no reason. They have better things to do than that, like drink alcohol. Oh, did I say that out loud? No, I didn't say that out loud. Okay, Blake. Um, and well, those are my thoughts of the day. We'll go live a little bit later and we'll go more into it. Talk to you later.